It's a beautiful late August morning here in the village of Stepantsminda at the foot of Mount Kazbegi, 7th highest summit of the Caucasus and 3rd, if I'm not wrong, of Georgia. And it's an ideal morning to start our slow way up there. We found our gear to rent here in the village, we have bought our food, and we are feeling ready, right Sophie?
That's right.
Let's go.
Over your head.
Fully loaded, we walked past the village. We could have taken a taxi instead and save 3.5 kilometers and a significant climb, but since we are going to climb the entire mountain, we can make this too. Here we are crossing the river to the other side, and we are finally approaching the last houses of the village. We then got on trail going past this picturesque old tower. This first leg of the hike was pretty steep and tough, but not very long overall and very beautiful already. We're approaching the church, about a kilometer left to it. The church, and here we're getting a glimpse of the summit, getting closer slowly. This is the Gergeti Trinity Church on the hilltop. We didn't go up there, but rather bypassed it and continued on our way straight towards the summit. So this is the parking lot, the farthest point a car could have brought us to if we had any, or if we hired any. We walked it maybe an hour and a half. It took us to here, fully loaded. There is the church. We didn't go through it. We just passed around it, but we may visit it on the way back. Now we're going up the hill over here. We're having our first break. First break for today. We are nearly half the way in both terms of distance and ascent. We're doing pretty well. Sophie says she's feeling very strong despite having got a blister on your foot.
My right fucking foot.
Yeah, it's her new shoes.
That don't happen.
Get comfortable in them. Yeah, But anyway, we're doing great. We're having our break and we continue. By early afternoon, before any possible rains, we should be perched, snug and cozy in our tent for the day. From here on, the trail was much smoother. We met quite a few other hikers along the way, but most of them were there on day trips from Stepantsminda, not heading towards the summit. The weather remained great, luckily sunny but not too hot, ideal conditions for doing this trek. And the views became steadily more impressive with every step we took. We also encountered several porters with horses carrying up the equipment of other climbers. Towards the end of the day's hike, the sky got cloudy and the inclination a bit steeper. Here we are going past a new refuge that was currently under construction. And after that point, the trail turned level again and slightly downhill until the camp of Sabertse, where we intended to overnight. Last kilometer to our camping spot. It's nice and even, a good easy part. Looking forward to some rest, some water before anything else. We're out of water. We didn't find any water from the village until here. We could have gone down into the ravine a little way close to the church and get some water, but then yeah, not quite along the trail. We are almost there anyway, and then we're going to have some noodles for lunch. Water! Making the last few strides for the day to cross the stream and go up to the camping located on the grassy patch after the stream. The water over there was rather dirty, but luckily there was a nice clear spring right beside the hut close by. Here we are nice and settled. We had our water, our tea and our noodles. Sophie's already layered up, fully layered up.
I got this one and this one. It's so warm.
Have you got more layers?
Underneath?
No, that's
I
all.
took my sweaty top off.
Only your pants. So now it's about time to go for a little exploration towards the hut, take a couple of pictures and see if we can get some signal. Our information claimed that there should be fairly steady connection all the way up to the next hut, but so far we haven't got any. Let's see if we're going to find any down there. A few more campers out here, 3 tents I see right now. Maybe a couple of more could potentially come. Let's see.
It looks like the English flag.
Yeah,
It's like I keep on thinking every time I see it.
very similar, only those little 4 crosses. They have 5 crosses instead of the one you have. It's got busier over here. Clean this a bit. I had a little rest in the afternoon. Now it's about time to have some dinner. Menu for tonight is rice, nearly boiling, fish, tomato, mushrooms, mouses of course. Another beautiful morning on the slopes of Mount Kazbegi. We'll be starting soon, waking up slowly.
How many tents do you think?
10 at least.
10.
About 3 hours probably to get to the camp. Constantly facing a clear view of the imposing snow-capped peak, we headed straight towards it. We had planned a short hike for today because we would be ascending the summit over this upcoming night without any significant acclimatization, so we should rather be well rested and take it easy for today. After the camp we followed some stony trails. They were pretty well signaled with cairns and rather smooth in inclination, and we headed towards that loud waterfall that dropped off the foot of the glacier.
Some of the horses carrying Dimmy stuff.
Not mine. We're approaching the glacier. How's your morale, Sophie?
Yes. Good.
At last we are getting very close to the glacier, getting some direct glimpses of it.
God, imagine you fell.
So this is where we hit the glacier. According to the standard trail, we should be hitting it right on its base above the waterfall. But then we followed two groups ahead of us. They were following the cairns in their turn, and they led us up here. They turned back to take it from the normal place, but we are perfectly alright to take it from here. There is a visible track running along the side. It's lying over here. But yeah, it will be easy to bypass. We are taking some breaths, drinking some water, and heading straight for the hut. Maybe an hour left. 1.7 kilometers
Whoop, whoop.
distance, 300 meters to climb. Lego. And we are on the glacier, plenty of horses walking back and forth with equipment. We didn't use crampons at this point. The inclination wasn't very steep and the ice had good traction. And the views were absolutely stunning, both towards the summit and the valley below. Getting closer, nearly halfway through the glacier. It's a very easy one, not cracks that I've seen. Very easy to go without crampons. Yeah, just fine. We are moving very fast through it. Plenty of lovely fresh water to drink along the way, of course. And some rapid streams we had to bypass. Poor creatures, I wonder whether their hooves are cold by any chance. I hope they enjoy the route as much as we did, even though they've done it 1,000 times probably. And we are soon off the glacier. We are off the glacier. Now last short part up to the hut over there. Nearly half a kilometer of ski up to the hut, and that's it. Ascent camp for today. The last part of the trail before the refuge went over a steep scree. A little tough but very short. We made it in no time. We found quite many people up there. There was some kind of national Georgian holiday and they had come up there for a party basically. Hello Sophie.
Got like a little practice wall up there.
Um?
Can I practice on there?
Yeah. The place unfortunately wasn't very well taken care of, full of rubbish scattered throughout. We also went inside the hut for a look, dirty too. They have dormitories and share food, but I didn't ask for prices as we had our own food. They're having a fucking party up here, as if it's a club or something. And the whole place stinks. But what to do, yeah? The bad side of tourism. This is where we settle. Sophie's already at work. We were invited.
All the horses.
She fed all the horses, Sophie. and we were invited by those people over there, a big group. They are having quite a party. They offered us a bit of their food and some wine. Luckily enough, we managed not to get drunk.
Did Georgian holiday?
Some kind of it, yeah, I didn't quite get it while you were there before me. I went over there to see if I can get some signal, and then I come back and I see Sophie sitting there sipping a glass of wine.
I was sat here and there was a guy and he was like, come here, and I was like, and he was like, come here, and he was like, come eat, and then I went over there and I was like, do I have to pay?
But then luckily we managed not to get drunk, Sophia,
Yeah,
which is not always easy with these people.
You need to be careful.
And that's it pretty
More
much.
water than wine. Are they our guys from the down there?
I can hardly tell anymore. I mean, many people, I do
I
not,
don't know if it was the German guy.
I'm not sure. Just many folks. But this is the plan more or less. We are setting our camp over here, then we may take a little hike up there. There is a little church apparently, maybe 100 or 2 meters above our position for some better acclimatization, and then we may practice a bit on this little ice slope over here, and we should be asleep by 4 or 5 o'clock latest to wake up at midnight. I hope it won't go on forever. Yeah, I hope.
Forever.
Okay, let's set this tent up. Let's see how we'll manage to peg on this ground. Luckily we'll get some pegging grip. Sorry?
I forgot you said it was rocky.
It is fairly rocky. It's not going to be the easiest ground to peg ever. And our tent relies much on its pegging. But yeah, if not, we'll need to use some rocks to set it up. So we're taking this little hike up to the church to assist our acclimatization a little bit. Sophie just said that it feels lovely to walk without a backpack. I do totally agree. This is the church, more of a tent church. We are at about 3,900 meters. This will help a good deal with acclimatization for tomorrow. Plus that we'll get a nice view of the glacier, a day view of it, so we have a better idea of how it is like in the dark tomorrow. There is the glacier visible in the background in all its grandeur. Amazing, just beautiful, stunning. And of course, here to our right is the bloody summit. Sophie's going to feed the horse. That's her highlight of the trip. Let's see if he's hungry. He should be. He's been here. Oh, he's getting excited. Go. Yummy.
Get a carrot.
Next morning, shortly after sunrise, the wind was too strong for anything I say to be heard, so I will have to do a voiceover for the rest of the video. We left the camp by 2 a.m. or so. We were planning to start at midnight sharp, but we didn't manage to get enough sleep. There was that group of police trekkers that camped beside our position, and that particular one policewoman who didn't stop shouting throughout the whole evening, even long after the music of the party had stopped. And so we set out walking a little late and only mounted the glacier by dawn time. The sky was clear throughout the whole night, but to our extremely bad luck, a big white cloud shrouded the summit early in the morning, and it remained there for all the rest of the day, so that it hid all the beautiful views we would have seen otherwise along the way. As you already saw, the peak was totally clear throughout the previous days, and so it was starting the following day already as well. What to say, bad luck. I don't like this. Anyhow, we kept moving steadily up the glacier. There were a couple of crevasses here and there that we had to traverse carefully, but nothing too tricky overall. The whole route all the way to the summit was very well trodden and very easy to follow due to it being high season and many climbers climbing on a daily basis. But on this particular day we only encountered another group or two of other climbers, and we were mostly alone on the mountain. All white, deep in the fog, we are approaching the plateau, and yeah, we still hope for some sunshine eventually during the day. Here we have made it to the plateau below the summit, and we are having a little rest, especially Sophie, who almost had a nap over there. She did very well though, and she totally deserved it. It was a pretty tough climb, especially given the minimal amount of acclimatization we went through. And this dense fog with its endless whiteness was also quite dispiriting. Further along, we crossed the technical border into Russia and walked around the summit to its northern face, whence we began the final hard attack towards the top of Mount Kazbek. On the way up, we got a few spells of fog clearing and saw a couple of patches of blue sky here and there, but nothing too much. Unfortunately, it was mostly windy, freezing, and white. We are right below the col. We should make it to the summit in an hour or so. We must have more than 5,800 meters of elevation right here. There were those brief spells of sunshine before, but so far for the last half hour or so, nothing, just fog. Let's see if any other pleasant surprise is reserved for us. We made it to the col between the two peaks, and we head straight up for the summit. A bit more than 100 meters left to climb. First a bit longer, smoother part, and then a last steep slope. We'll need to climb there a bit, and yeah, almost done. Here we are staring at the last ascent from the col. Halfway up there, we crossed paths with this group of descending climbers. Polish they were, I think. Congratulations, guys. Good job. last few fucking meters. That's the top over there, the purview that we see. Sophie's done really great. Bravo, Sophie! Good job, good job. She's done great. She's really strong. She deserves a good clap. And here we are at last. We made it. Top of Mount Kazbegi, 5,054 meters above mean sea level. The third highest point of Georgia and the 7th highest in the Caucasus mountain range. We didn't stay long up there lest we'd freeze to death, and we began on our way down with a much bluer sky this time. Here's everything we couldn't see in the morning. We're getting a slightly different way down. In the morning we came more from closer to the center of the glacier. This thing here, yeah, is just constant rock falls. They never stop falling. It's mad. Ooh, them are very fast. Luckily, most of them stop right over there, the convex. But one needs to be careful. Look, 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 look. Look, 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 look. Whee! We'll be soon getting off the glacier.